The orphaned heart is never free. Until you know that you're adopted as a child of God, you can't really rest. Are you ready for some good news? Paul assures every Christian, you did not receive the spirit of slavery to fall back into fear, but you received the spirit of adoption as sons, by whom we cry, Abba, Father. Those are his words in Romans chapter 8 at verse 15. When our son Bennett was 6, we sat on the front steps for some lemonade to rest from our play on a hot summer afternoon, and out of the blue, little Bennett asked, Dad, what's a slave? Well, I wasn't ready for his question. Slavery is a very sensitive and painful subject, and I thought he was mighty young for me to start talking to him about such a thing. But I said, well, Bennett, slavery is a very bad thing. If someone is a slave, they have a master, and the slave has to do whatever the master says to do. He was quiet for a few moments. Dad? Yes, I said. He said, I have to do everything that you tell me to do. Gulp. Yes, I said, Bennett, but it's different. You're my son, and I love you. I said, if a slave doesn't do what his master says, then the master might beat him. And it was quiet again. Dad, what? If I don't do what you say, you might spank me, right? I said, well, yeah, not very often, Bennett, and it's totally different. I mean, if I discipline you, it's because I love you and I want you to learn and grow. You're my son. It's totally different than being a slave. I eventually just mumbled and changed the subject and had to admit to myself that my answer was not very satisfactory. Not only to little Bennett, but it wasn't satisfactory to myself. I began to think more deeply, what really is the difference between a son and a slave? And at the core of it is this: a slave works in fear of punishment, but a son works in hope of a blessed future. Slaves work because of insecurity, but adopted heirs, children of God, work because of security. The spiritual orphan isn't free until he or she receives the unconditional adopting love of the Father. If adopted, then a child is an heir. If an heir, then the child is full of hope. If you're full of hope, then a child will apply his or her gifts and talents. That's what makes us work hard when we're heirs. Hope of such a blessed future, of making such a difference. And that's the difference between a son and a slave, and that's the gospel. Well, that's today's daily devotional, and you can get more like it clicking right here, or better yet, be sure and subscribe. Get all these. Start out every day with some good news, and I hope you have a great day as an heir of the Most High God.